To be fair, I got 15 seconds of penalty in practice. So. Honestly, it's so easy to get a penalty.
Who are we waiting on? Is that empty?
We're not waiting. We're going.
We're going!
We're going with 19. Where's Liam, yo?
Where is Liam, yo?
We're going to come out of this race with the constructors and the drivers.
We are. We're going to fucking smash this gamer.
We're going to get a 1-2.
We actually are. No, we actually will. Like, I'm not even joking. Seems when it's wet.
Unfortunately, the offset's not working in F2. But I'm gonna do it anyway!
Yeah, because gamer, do you know who you are?
Yeah, well, the one stop won't work if we both do the one stop, because I'll have to go to like lap 11.
Yeah, and then you get undercut by 4 or 5 seconds.
Too early.
Hey guys, it's me, Sparks, and we're back with another video on F1 2020. And we're back for a very important race this week. It is round 11 of PSGL. As you can see, last week we did not upload as it was Mexico, and quick summary, got damage and didn't finish in the points. And their title rival, Just, actually got the win, which was quite bad timing for us. So now the gap to me and Just is only 15 points. It has been reduced from our 31 point lead, which is pretty big in this point system. I think for a win it's 16, and it goes 16, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. But as you can see, we're now heading out for our first run. I was feeling fairly confident heading into this one, just the usual, not anything crazy in pace. My PB in practice was a 31.4, a 447, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was a 447, and I'd done it in one of my first days of practice and just couldn't beat it. It seems a reoccurring theme with my practice, and I was doing consistent 0.5s, 0.6s, the odd 0.7, so I was pretty consistent and confident with my pace, especially my race pace. I was more confident in my race pace than my quali pace. I feel like this season my qualifying pace, maybe not in practice, but definitely in the real thing, really needs to get a step up. I'm really hindering myself by not qualifying high up enough, just out of sheer bottling it, to be honest. And yeah, also for this race we changed our brake settings. I use a load cell, so I changed the brake settings to, I've changed it to 80 BRF on my wheel, which is your brake force, and I've got 385s and I think it's like 385s and 395s or something like that. I can't remember, but it's something along those lines. So the brake was a lot heavier this race, and it was mainly just because I found with my old brake settings I was a bit inconsistent with braking. I would lock up a bit inconsistently. Sometimes I wouldn't, sometimes I would. So this was just to fix that issue. Probably not the best time to change it, but we needed to change. But nevertheless, Just is going very slow, as you can see us out lap, so we're trying to keep up our tires. We destroy the 50 metre board as it's in the way, and I hate it when I'm on the lap. So yeah, nevertheless, we're starting our first lap. We're aiming for a 31 at least in our banker lap. A 31.9 would be ideal. I'd take that any day in the real session for a banker. So going into turn 1, that was not good. That's probably going to be roughly a high 0.6 or a low 0.7 first sector. It's been pretty scruffy. You can hit that curb in many ways and it bounces you out. We do a 32.2 behind Just, 400 behind Just. And our CRG teammate Matthew actually does a 31.9, which is what we were looking for. So not a great start to the session. We're in P7 right now at that time. I thought I'd be a lot lower, but P7. We've still got 2 more runs and we're coming to the end of our second one. We're 2.5 tenths up. This second last corner is brutal on track extension, so we do that fairly nicely. The last corner was, yeah, that was not good at all, and we do a 31.9, which it's not the end of the world, but again could be so much better. But nevertheless, we are starting our final lap, the one that counts, the one that will place us. So come up to the turn one. You want to brake just after that right pole on the left. That's my braking point. Mount the curb or just miss it. We mount it and use a lot of the track and exit. Hit these curbs and mount all over them. We're just marginally up on an average first sector, I'm pretty sure. Come into your brake as the curb starts. Take a lot of this inside curb into second gear now. Back up to third to minimise wheel spin, and then down to first for this tight hairpin that is really tricking traction, and then plant the throttle and hope for the best. Open the DRS as soon as you can, and now this is probably the quickest you get through the whole track. We're about 800s up on our time, so we would be on for about a low 0.8 at this moment. Brake just before the 100 metre board, slam onto the brakes, down to first gear actually for that extra rotation. Meant a lot of that inside curb up to fourth, and we're only half a tenth up now, probably less than half a tenth, 300s up, and that has not went well. We've lost at least half a tenth there. For this corner, on your right, brake at the 100 metre board, down to third gear, carry as much speed as you can up to fourth, and mount these curbs as much as you can as well. It's just all about corner cutting and getting away with it. Here, very tricky in traction, as it seems to be the way around this track. Into this corner, slamming the brakes, very easy to lock your front right tyre. We do not take a lot of inside curb. We do lose a good amount of time there, but it's not ideal. Through here, you want to cut a lot more than we did. We did not do it amazing. We're only half a tenth up now. So coming into the second last corner, we want to fling it in. Absolutely hope for the best. We're still only about half tenth up, and this last corner was not good whatsoever. We're pretty much sideways, and it was only a 31.8. So horrible lap, to be honest. I've done 0.6 bankers in practice before, so to do a 0.8, I mean, it's just awful, to be honest. There's no excuse. I was just driving like horrible, and again, we really need to work in qualifying next season. It's not that it's not there, it's just sometimes we perform in the real thing and sometimes we don't, so we need to be more consistent in that aspect. But it's not horrible. We're fourth, and for a bad lap, I'll take fourth, to be honest. We've been gifted with a good position for a bad lap. But yeah, so we're just going to have to work from there. Our teammate, or not our teammate, our teammate, our rival, Just, who we do need to finish in front of. I forgot to mention, we need to outscore him by 2 points to win the title. And we need to I think Wildcross needs to outscore us to be in contention. But yeah, he's in front of us, so he's the main man we want to beat. We're going for a one-stop, actually. And I heard that Just was going for the 2-stop. So I believe the 1-stop would have been better. It was pretty much just a gamble. Whoever got the luckiest throughout with traffic, and who didn't get killed, to be honest, because there's lots of back markers in this league that are pretty much there just to ruin your race, to be honest. And if you come along them and they start fighting you, that's it. It's going to take a few laps to get past them, especially a couple of them. So nevertheless, this start is extremely important. We do not want to get damaged, especially when Just is only 15 points behind us. But we've got 1 red light, 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And away we go for round 11 of PSGL F1. We get a decent start, but not amazing. Ferrari's trying to go round outside. It's crucial that we keep him behind us for our title. We shove him off onto the curb slightly. He gets less traction even, and we keep our position. Now it's all about defending it. Will Ferrari go for a dive bomb on us? We cover the inside just to show him that we're not going to let him by. We brake very early just to not run into the back of Just, and we've held position. We've held position at the most crucial part of the race, and now it's just working from here. We've got 28 laps ahead of us, and now it's just all about saving these tyres. We're going to take these tyres to roughly lap 10 or 11, earliest 9. So it's very crucial we save these tyres and don't push too much. I did hear, as you heard me say, that Just is on the 1-stop. So, well, I believed he was in the 1-stop. So this is going to give us a chance to get ahead of him. We've also got Casper and Vassaracer ahead of us, and that's going to make it tricky. These are 3 VSR drivers, so they could easily work together. So yeah, this will be interesting to see how, if they work together, if they fight, if they swipe me, because I'm in title contention with a VSR driver. I'm joking, of course, do you believe it? Right, but never mind. Back to the racing. Yeah, we're just trying to follow Just really and not kill our tyres. We're driving pretty conservatively. I think it looked like Vassaracer was pushing at this point. I could be completely wrong. But, the pace didn't seem overly fast or overly slow. It was just a bit in between. Vassaracer sets a 38, which isn't awful for the real thing, to be honest. That's pretty good. Coming on to lap 4, though, we've just been kind of sitting behind. We've used a bit of VRS because they started pulling away a bit, and we get a big tank slapper there, nearly put it in the wall, and that would have been devastating for title chances. That would have been pretty embarrassing. Also, if you look behind us, we've got about an 8/10 gap to F1 Ferrari, so he's nearly fell out. And Just actually pits, confirming to us that he's doing a 2-stop, unless he's going to try and take the mediums to the end, which is just it's pretty much impossible, to be honest. So he pit, and now that's left a gap of 1.3 seconds to Casper ahead of us. So I saw this coming round about lap 2, and we're going to have to use a lot of DRS at this point to catch back up to Casper and get back in that DRS. So we've got about 70-65%, and we're going to pretty much use all of that to get back in. We actually have caught about 2 tenths now to Casper, but yeah, it's no good when you're not in the DRS. As you can see, we're using all of our DRS, and we're just marginally catching him. We've used about 30% there, and we've just marginally catched him, and he's pulling away, so in theory gained nothing. Going into this braking zone though, down to first, up to third, and we get a really good run through there, and we just get in DRS before the detection zone, and that is us into DRS. So yeah, now it's just repeat of what we were doing when we were behind the Used. Save DRS, save tyres, and our race will come to us later on. But as you're about to see, it's lap 6. We've been trying to save DRS, but Casper starts draining it, and he goes for a move on his VSR teammate round the outside of this corner. Very audacious move, and he gets absolutely shoved off by his teammate, and you might be able to hear me complain in the background that they're fighting, because this is just not helping us at all. We are trying to limit the time loss here, as Eustace on the 2-stop, and we want to have the cleanest run we can possibly have. So yeah, that is not ideal at all. At this point I did think Casper was on the 1-stop as well, but it's about to turn out that he's actually going to pit for the 2-stop. For some reason Casper always likes to go very long, nothing against it obviously, but he goes very long, and as you can see he pulls into the pits.
He's not 2-stop.
As you can hear me say it, he's just going long, doing the 2-stop. So it's just me and Vassar, the top 2, who look to be on the 1-stop. Obviously we've got our teammate Gamer Matthew behind us on the 1-stop as well, but they're a little bit further back. So the top 2, me and Vaster Racer, are on the 1-stop, and it's again just what we're doing for the first part of the race. We're just trying to stay calm, save a bit of ERS, and nothing to it. But I think going into here we actually lose DRS, so I thought to myself, right, we're going to have to drain a bit of ERS here just to get in it. It was pretty crucial we stayed with Faster so he could tow us around, because I was pretty confident he'd be faster in here, as he's just quicker in here. I think this is just one of his best tracks really, so it's crucial we sit with him, and yeah, just stick with him really. We don't use any ERS here, I'm pretty sure, and we've successfully got back into the DRS. We've actually pulled away from Matthew, which doesn't surprise me since we use so much ERS, and now we just sit behind them and control our race. On to lap 9 though. I'm pretty sure this is the lap my teammates were planning on pitting.
Wait, is Dom in now?
As you can see, we actually got a huge moment there out into that right hander of turn 3. That's a very tricky corner. I was staying away from that curb and we nearly binned it. So I think that's the second time we've nearly binned it this race. It's not amazing, to be honest, but yeah, that if I bend it, oh my gosh, I'd have been fuming with myself. So on to the end of lap 10 though, we've got Duncan behind us, who was Aero Cesaro. He's now joined VSR, and he's VSR Duncan. We pit in lap 10, which is pretty late. The latest was probably about 11. And then you can see tyres are just gone. At this point we're lapping 3-4 seconds lap slower than the medium runners. And our teammate Matthew and Gamer actually pit on lap 9. Keep in mind they were 2 seconds behind us, and we actually get hell in the pits by Vassar, so it just adds to it. They were 2 seconds behind us, so let's see how much they undercut us by. They've went onto the mediums. They're going to be stretching those mediums very long, a lot longer than us. And actually, if you notice there, Dario's undercut us. I can't remember where he was, but he's undercut us, and Gamer's undercut us. So a huge undercut. They've undercut us by at least 3.5, maybe even 4 seconds. I think Vassar holding us made it look a lot worse, but he's undercut us by a lot, and it's not ideal at all. But they are fighting now. I think this is Matthias up ahead. He got wing damage from Lee Finlay, who bashed him off the track, I'm pretty sure, and he's getting bashed off the track now by Dario. And I was just kind of hoping he'd let me by, to be honest. He is a CRG team, but he has every right to fight it. And yeah, I'm just braking early, being cautious. This is losing us a heap of time though, and it is just helping the 2-stop runners. As we pick up our second warning, I don't think I showed the first warning, as Matthias lets us by. So thank you, Matthias, for letting us by. If you're watching this, very grateful for it. And we start our first proper lap in the mediums. Next up is VSR Lee. We all know how famous he is for defending the positions, and he is the one we need to pass. I was bricking it at this point because any wrong move and I could have wing damage and that could be it. So we're just going to take this very cautiously, swerving to the right, swerving to the left, braking very early, and yeah, I was just kind of hoping he would let me by. You know, two Scots. I occasionally message him before the race and be like, you know what, Lee Finlay, we're both Scottish.
What is wrong?
Scottish homies, innit? So we'll see if he lets us by, but it doesn't look like he's going to let us by. I've drained. I mean, I don't see why he's fighting it, to be honest, but I guess he's allowed to. We brake half-heartedly and get squeezed into the inside of the curb. We don't get by, but then he gets a horrible exit here. We tap the back of him, and we use all of ERS and deploy, or open the DRS, and that's us in front. I weave a bit to be like, what were you doing? But yeah, that was the heat of the moment stuff. And we've used all of ERS. So next up is Dario. He is actually on the 2-stop, believe it or not. I must not have known about the 1-stop, but so he's pretty much effectively not fighting us. Next up is Ash Best. Dario and Gamer get by him as they fight ahead, so again, it's just a bit of a mess. We're getting more traffic than expected at this point, and these are the drivers that I was worried about for the race. But we'll see if Ash fights it more than Lee Finlay does. It doesn't look like he's not using any ERS, and we're going to fly by him. Is it going to be an easy move? We've got Dario in front of us, but Dario's ahead of us, so we cannot brake late, and Ash brakes late, goes into the side of him, and yeah, holds us up. So again, I don't know what he's doing, I don't know why he's trying to fight it. I genuinely have no clue what their process is at this point and why they choose to fight these positions, because it's just losing them time, to be honest. And it's not that they're going to catch back up after their pit stop, so no clue what they're trying to accomplish at this rate.
Oh my god.
And he's just holding us up for this last sector, and it's lost his DRS. So I don't know if this is VSR tactics or just their way. I mean, again, not digging, they have every right to do so, but it's very annoying. He gets a horrible run out of this last corner, and we use all of ERS and pass him into turn 1. So it's all fun and games now. We've got him, and he's had his fun, we've had our fun, but now we're 2 seconds behind Dario, who has DRS and Gamer, and it's crucial that we catch these guys, because if we're at the back of the medium runner train, or at least further down than we'd expect to be, one used catches, who you can see in the top left who's pit. He's 7.1 seconds behind. He's got roughly 10 laps to catch us, and he's got about 4 or 5 lap pressure mediums, I think, which will be a lot come the end of this race. So it's very crucial we catch back up to Dario, which we actually do. We get within the 1 second mark, and he actually pits on lap 20. So
pretty much went straight on.
as I go straight on. But next up is Gamer, and our teammate. He's 1.5 up. He's got a penalty, but we are 1 warning away from a penalty, so we're driving extremely cautious at this rate.
Okay, Sparks is faster than Joe.
As you hear my engineer, Sergi Bolts, or Jordan as you may know him, say Sparks is faster than you, a famous radio message back in the day. And yeah, I think you all know what that means. It wasn't implied to be that way, but either way, I was going to overtake Gamer. He doesn't let me by, he just doesn't fight it, I would say. And I think we have significant pace advantage at this point, as his tyres are just gone. I think he had about 5% more than us, and that it may not seem like a lot, but that does affect your pace a lot when it comes into the long run. So we're now into 3rd place, and if we were to finish like this would be championship winning position. So we've just got to keep our cool now and not get a penalty. We've got about 4 more laps left, and if we get a penalty now, I don't know if we'd still win it, but it would either not be a win or it would be a win. It'd be very close. So starting our final lap, this is the lap that matters. We're going to stay on board for this whole final lap. We have broke the gap to Gamer, as been fighting with Domi in the past couple laps. I was also very wary that Domi could overtake us in this last lap, so we're pushing like hell, and yeah, again, making sure we don't get a penalty. We've caught Matthew by about a second, but excuse me, we're going to probably drop a bit from Matthews. We're trying not to get a penalty. We've got a title in line. He's got 2nd place in the line pretty much, and yeah, so our focus is on Domi. He will be behind us. We're using all of our ERS at this stage. He's going to have DRS, but we're actually pulling away from him, so he might not have even had the intention to overtake us at this rate. and it doesn't look like he's going to bother us for the first straight. Onto the second straight, we want to get an amazing run without cutting that too much. As I've said, we get one more warning, that is 3 seconds added onto our time. So it looks like it's going to be all nice and dandy coming into this last sector, and it looks all good. The gap is about half a second to Domi, so he could still make a move if he's going to feel a bit angry and audacious in this last sector, but it's looking good so far. Vassar's in first, it looks like he's going to come home with a win. Matthew in second, looks like he's going to take second after what's been a tough few races, I'd say, from not the end of the season, but it's been a tough few races for him, and he's going to work that out. But we're losing time now, we're taking it very cautiously in this last sector. Domi's all over us. If we finish like this, we will win the championship, and I'm just going to tell you, warn your headphones. Guess what it was? The yeah!
Is it done? Is it done? Let's fucking go!
Well done.
The man!
And as you can hear, we were very happy. I was ecstatic with that. So much. I think the last 4 laps, my heart was going. I just did not want to mess that up, and yeah, I can't express how happy I am to win the title. It's been a thing that's been on my mind for a while. I didn't expect to win the title this season, to be honest. Confidence was very low after last season. No matter how bad my luck was, I was still very low in confidence. So to come here and smash out of the park like I have, I couldn't have been happier, to be honest. So yeah, that is the race. I think the gap to use now is 18, 19 points or something like that. But I don't care, to be honest. We've won the title. That's all that matters. And the Haas constructors, the constructors hasn't been wrapped up yet between me, Gamer, Houston Jordan, so the Williams and me and Gamer, and yeah, so that hasn't been wrapped up yet, but hopefully we can wrap that up next week in Japan. We will have to wait and see, but nevertheless, I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope I didn't destroy your eardrums, but yeah, it is what it is. Sorry if I did, and I'll see you next one. Make sure to like if you want, and subscribe if you want, and put notifications on if you want to see when I upload, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you, and bye.